Hi, welcome everyone. Construction work has finally started on the Port Harcourt-Maiduguri Railway, otherwise known as the Eastern Rail Line. At a time, it felt like the railway project wouldn't be executed any longer because it's been a long time the contract was awarded to the Chinese firm handling the project. It looked like getting funding was a bit difficult for them, but finally, work has started. The Port Harcourt-Maiduguri Railway is one of the oldest lines in Nigeria, and it is very long, 1,400 kilometers in length, and it is about to get even longer because of the new spurs that will be constructed. It spans many states and cities in eastern Nigeria. Many people have been asking why didn't they approve standard gauge for the Port Harcourt-Maiduguri Railway. Before we get to the reasons why they are building the same narrow gauge, let's see the route of the railway, because a lot of people don't know the route of the Port Harcourt-Maiduguri Railway and the new spurs that they will build. Many cities in eastern Nigeria will soon be connected by rail for the first time. Cities like Owerri, Awka, and Abakaliki in the south. In the northeast, you have Damaturu and Gashua. All will be connected to the Eastern Railway. Have you subscribed to our channel? If you haven't, this is the time to subscribe and enable notification. Thanks. We made a comprehensive video of the Port Harcourt-Maiduguri Railway, the number of stations along the rail line, the number of railway bridges and maintenance depots, you name it. The full details of the $3 billion rehabilitation and reconstruction contract are all in the video. The video link will all be at the end of this video so you can watch it after. Okay, let's see the route of the Port Harcourt-Maiduguri Railway. From Port Harcourt, there will be a link to Ubima, which will ultimately lead to Owerri. These are new tracks. Ubima will host a transport university and a maintenance yard. The spur to Owerri will open up the area to manufacturers. Innocent is building a new vehicle plant near Owerri, so they will definitely benefit from a better mode of transportation of their vehicles to the seaport for export. When the Owerri line opens, it's not just the manufacturers that will benefit, but also those that are into agriculture. People who have cash crops for export will now have a less expensive way of moving their produce to the seaports for export. There will be many construction teams working on different areas along the rail line simultaneously, because it is actually rehabilitation and reconstruction they are doing. They are not constructing everything new along the entire stretch of the rail line. Places where they need to replace the tracks completely, they will do that, and other sections where the tracks are in good condition, they will just fix the stations around there. The rehabilitation of the Port Harcourt-Maiduguri Railway was actually done a few years ago under the last administration, but the contractors did a shoddy job and they are redoing everything afresh. They hope that by September, laying of new tracks would have reached Enugu, the coal city. If they're able to achieve that, that means train services can resume before December from Port Harcourt to Enugu and vice versa, of course including the city of Aba in the middle. It is also possible that construction work on the railway spur from Enugu to Awka will be going on simultaneously, since they have different teams working on the project. This also applies to the Owerri spur. We will find out in a short time when we will go around the whole project site for updates. This is the time to subscribe to our channel if you haven't, and remember to enable notification so you would be notified to watch all the updates on the Port Harcourt-Maiduguri Railway that will be uploaded. Who knows, the Awka spur might be ready this year, and it will definitely be a game changer for business owners in Anambra. As a matter of fact, it is a nightmare doing any business that involves importation in Nnewi, Onitsha, and the entire Anambra because of the distance to the seaports in Lagos. There are two scenarios involved in getting your container from Lagos to Anambra. Either you pay the container deposit fee to the shipping company, or you put the goods in another truck for onward delivery to Onitsha or Nnewi. The container deposit fee from the shipping company is mandatory. They do that because a lot of containers do fall off the trucks along the highway. So the fee will cover the cost of the damaged container, while the cost of damaged goods will be borne by the owner, of course. Even after delivery in Onitsha, you will still be hoping that the truck gets back to Lagos safely so that you can get back your deposit. This frustrating, cumbersome process has been drawing a lot of businessmen from Onitsha to Lagos, because when they calculate the logistics involved in getting a container from Lagos to Onitsha, they begin to question if it's not better to have a branch in Lagos. And before you know it, they are gone. They've moved permanently to Lagos. They say the taste of the pudding is in the eating. When they see how easy it is to do import business in Lagos, they will realize the suffering they've been experiencing all along. Look at all the major markets in Lagos. Alaba, Aspanda, Trade Fair, Ladipo. What's the distance from Apapa to all these markets? Lagos has been drawing a lot of businessmen from Onitsha, not just because of the proximity to the seaports, but because Lagos is actually a huge market compared to Onitsha. So the Eastern Rail Line connecting Awka will bring a seaport to Anambra in the form of a dry port, which many have been constructed already in anticipation of the rail line. It will stop a lot of business people moving en masse to Lagos and other port cities like Port Harcourt, where they go and create jobs and pay taxes. Jobs that should have been created in Anambra and taxes paid to Anambra too. Anambra will now benefit from the improvement of ease of doing business that the dry ports will bring. It's just like being in Apapa or environs. You're not paying additional costs. It's just the cost of transporting the container from the port to your business area. The cost savings alone for business owners will be enormous. Right now, it costs up to 600,000 to transport a container from Lagos to Onitsha. This cost depends on the size of the container, and it doesn't include the shipping company deposit that will cover the cost of the container in case anything happens. So it will save a lot of money for business owners, and the more money people are able to save, the more disposable income they have that they can invest in other areas of the economy. Also, the Soludo administration in Anambra can extend the railway line from Awka to Onitsha. It's only 35 kilometers, so as to bring a dry port into the heart of Onitsha. Imagine Onitsha business owners having a dry port within 10 kilometers of their business area. It will be a dream come true for many business owners. It might even lead to many coming back to Onitsha, because Onitsha will become even more attractive. Anyway, the Lagos-Calabar rail line will connect Onitsha when it is built, but construction is yet to start. They are currently negotiating funding, and they are redesigning the route as well to connect Lekki Deep Sea Port, because the Lekki Deep Sea Port is nearing completion and the government has a policy of connecting all rail lines to the seaport. So movement of goods from the Western Seaport will be through the Lagos-Calabar rail line, while containers from Eastern Seaports will be on the Port Harcourt-Maiduguri Railway. For more details about the Lagos-Calabar rail line, you can check out this video on the top right corner. Also, all video links will be in the video description. Thanks. Another city that will hugely benefit from a new railway line is Abakaliki. Ebonyi State in general has a lot of companies mining many natural resources, and some of them are exported. So having a spur that will connect the Port Harcourt-Maiduguri Railway will bring a dry port to Abakaliki. Also, commercial business owners will benefit like their counterparts in Onitsha. The number one priority of any growing economy is to make it very easy to import and export goods and services. So it is a welcome development that construction works have started on the Port Harcourt-Maiduguri Railway. Coming to why they are building narrow gauge instead of the standard gauge, it's simply because of cost. As explained in the other video, it will cost billions of dollars to construct the standard gauge line. And considering the fact that the rehabilitation and modernization of the railway lines in Nigeria are mostly funded by loans, it will be difficult to get loans to fund it. Even the Lagos-Calabar Railway, that is more lucrative than the Port Harcourt-Maiduguri Railway, hasn't taken off because of funding. These are projects Nigeria should have constructed when we had an oil boom, but unfortunately, it wasn't to be. Now we are forced to do them with loans. Another reason is that the passenger traffic on the Port Harcourt-Maiduguri Railway is very low. They hope to make up with cargo transportation, and hopefully there will be growth in the passenger traffic and they can expand. Anyway, we'll be bringing you more updates on the ongoing construction and rehabilitation of the Port Harcourt-Maiduguri Railway. We hope you enjoyed the video. Give it a like, subscribe to our channel, and enable notification. Till next time, bye bye.